to the LFG Pats Pod with your hosts, Joe and Mike. Let's go!
We all look fantastic. Everybody looks great. You look beautiful. I can hear you. You guys can hear me. Everybody's in great shape right now.
I love it. All right. Welcome into the LFG Pats Pod. This is episode 6 of season 2. We're past the draft. We're in a little bit of a dead zone, boys, but I mean, there's still drama. There's still drama going on. We're still talking about Diana Rossini. We're still talking about Vrabelgate. We got the Lomu versus Campbell scandal as well. And then we got, we're going to talk about the AFC in general. We're going to talk about, what teams got better, what teams got worse. A lot of interesting topics. Brycen, welcome to the pod. You're always a great guest of ours. You were sick last week, so apologies for that, but we'll make it up this week.
Hey, thank you guys for helping me. I just want to say I haven't been that sick since COVID. I don't know what was going on with me. I never get sick. And this is something I always I don't get sick. And I had a 103 fever. I couldn't talk. I had the man flu. I just started feeling better, but I am back, dude. I am back. And we wouldn't have it any other way because I feel like it's much better now. Things are more developed now a little bit. So I like that. So thanks for having me on, and let's do this.
Once we get the tech out of the way, it's all downhill from there, guys.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, all right, before we get into it, guys, we're going to talk about our sponsors. So Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar, thanks a lot to Ryan Bissett. We had an amazing draft party. A lot of people are still talking about it. It ended up being like an industry night, to be honest. There's probably about 15 industry people there. We had Randy from Snap Judgments. We had Los Talks Pats flew in from the West Coast. We had ZB couldn't make it. Scotty B couldn't make it, but we had Pete Collins. We had 12th Musket. We had Pat's Pro was there. Pat's Pro was standing in front of the booth there, and I never met him before in person.
I didn't know who he was.
And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And then I talked to him, and he goes, "You know who I am?" I'm like, "Oh my!" Because as soon as he talked, I knew his voice. And I'm like, "No shit!" And it was one of those situations where he didn't match the person I thought he would be. I don't know why. But regardless, it was honestly an awesome night. Great food, great drinks. We gave Bissett it was his birthday as well. We gave him a John Hannah signed framed jersey. I made that. It came out really nice. But yeah, Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar. If you guys are ever in the Providence area, it's the arcade in Providence. It's the oldest mall in the country. And it looks like it's got the pillar, the Greek pillars. Looks like the Parthenon. It really is a historic, really historic building, really nice building. But it's super. He's just probably put another $200,000 into that place, and it looks amazing. But yeah, Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar in Providence. Check it out. Amazing food. And then Horizon HVAC. It's New England, guys. We're putting on the heat. We're putting on the AC. We don't know what to put on anymore because it gets hot one night, it gets cold another night. Regardless, have these guys out. Horizon HVAC. They'll check your systems, make sure everything's in tip-top shape. Mike Cesaroni, give him a call. These guys are awesome. They'll get out there and fix everything that you need them to, and even just check things out. Honestly, it gives you peace of mind going into the season. All right, so Brycen, we got to talk about this. I'm sick of talking about it, but we got to.
We have to, though. It's the elephant in the room. We have to address it.
Mike, every time I even bring it up to Mike, he makes old man noises. But Brycen, what's the latest? Give me what your take is on the whole Vrabel or Rossini, whatever the fuck her name is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
I know this is terrible, but I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, geez.
All right.
You can continue and say something.
Vrabel, Mike Vrabel. Hold on. Ready? I'll help you with a picture. Ready? We'll play a picture game. He'll be back.
We just lost him.
I have something. So, Mike,
I have something to say about it.
All right.
What do you think about that?
I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. All right. So the topic
we'll let Brycen go first. We'll let him go first.
The topic, Brycen, was Vrabelgate. And so we kind of we don't want to talk about it, but then these Madden pictures came out, and now we're kind of stuck with this
old school Tomb Raider right there, baby.
Let me cook here.
Yeah.
Let me cook, Mike. Listen,
Do it up.
the one thing that you guys like about me, and I can see it in your face sometimes when we talk about stuff that you don't like to talk about, whether it be Will Campbell is like not that good, or whether it be, this Vrabelgate or whatever it may be. I'm the person, I always have been the person that will say things that people don't like. Mac Jones isn't very good. Cam Newton isn't very good. I've always these things have split friendships online for me, and this recent one it's even more so. And I'm telling you guys this right now. I don't want to be the unpopular person. I want to have friends. I want people to be my friend. And whenever stuff like this comes out, and I immediately, Joe can tell you, when this started, I was like, this is not good. This is the worst thing ever. This is going to be national news for months. This is not stopping at all. And I lost friends over this. I mean, we're still beefing over this. It's like, no, you don't understand. There's a difference between the things that I want to be true and the things that ought to be true. Right. So what ought to be true is that Will Campbell blocked like a maniac in the playoffs and the Patriots won the Super Bowl. What ought to be true is Drake May played awesome in the Super Bowl. What ought to be true that this doesn't matter at all. But that's not the case. So I deal in what is. And that sometimes people, they go, well, they take what I think should be, they think what I think is true should be true. And that's just not the case. I'm just here to tell you guys like what is true. And the moment I saw this story, I'm telling you, remove the morality from it. It doesn't even matter. Remove it. We're talking about this is the biggest story because a reporter was fired, and there's, alleged more coming, more people, perhaps, more stories, perhaps, a bit of a slow drip. I know way more than I can say about that, but the reason why it's so big is that the AJ Brown trade, the rest of the NFL doesn't see it like you guys. They see it like this is 9/11 for everyone, and it is. Think about this. I want you guys to think about it. Seriously. If you disagree with what I'm saying, think about if this happened to your family. National news every single day, a slow drip on TMZ, on New York Post. Every single week, there's like multiple things dropping, right? I knew this was going to happen. This is the way it started, and the Patriots knew too. They told you that, right? So no matter what you think, this is a big deal, and it always was a big deal. This is so massive. Like I'm telling you guys, like every morning I wake up and there's 10 million impression tweets about this stuff. It's like every single day, and I'm really not even saying much anymore. Sometimes I retweet this stuff, but I'm not really even saying much, and everyone wants to say this doesn't matter. But let me propose something to you that you say this doesn't matter. Remember the CEO that got fired on X for going viral and had his hands around that girl and they were kissing on the kiss cam? He got fired from that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm not saying that Vrabel will be fired. He can't be fired because financially he can't be fired. The only way that Mike Vrabel would leave is on his own accord. Now, that may be what he says. Maybe there's a parting or something. I'm not saying there is, but from the moment they started, I knew that this would be the biggest thing of all time. And there's always been a potential for that. I mean, think about this. Really think about it. If this happened to you, if this happened to me, this is 9/11, guys. This is really terrible for everyone. I feel really bad for everybody involved. I would not want to go to work. I would not want to be at work. I would not want to smile at work. I would not want to go outside. This is like, I can't even we can't even fathom how bad this is. Okay. And for us to say just ignore it, it doesn't matter. That's not going to happen. And the reason why it's so big, the reason why it is so big at all, and you can blame Mike Vrabel for this, by the way, him and Rossini, both, you can pull up the quotes. Vrabel called it laughable. It's nothing more than laughable. It's nothing more than a picture of two friends or whatever. Rossini said the same thing. And then after that, it was critical hit after critical hit. Super effective, super effective, super effective. And then when Mike Vrabel had his first press conference, I watched it and I was waiting for this because this all could have been diffused after that. He went up there and I saw the look on his face. That was not I'm taking extreme responsibility face. That was, this is really annoying. Could you please shut up about this face? That is not the way to handle this situation at all. Okay. Vrabel and Rossini, they threw fire on all of this, and that's why it's so big. And that's why New England is the only place where people aren't absolutely obsessed with this story. Everyone else is completely obsessed because of the storyline. There's no way that you can't tell me there's a way we go into week 1 where it's not being talked about on the TV broadcast. I'm telling you, I'm going to be right about that. They're going to talk, if he's the coach, they're going to talk about it week 1. They're going to talk about it week 2, and stuff is going to slowly trickle out. If you know what places like TMZ does, they pay people for stories, okay? They were offered, I think, something like $10,000 for the original story or whatever it may be and passed up. Well, now I think people are saying that they are paying people to come forward and they're paying for more stories. And that's why you're seeing this trickling of stuff. And that's why, it's actually not going to stop. Okay. And Drake May is being asked about what he thinks about Mike Vrabel. Everyone can say, like, football wise, this doesn't matter. But if you love Bill Belichick, if you like Bill Belichick, what would he say about this? Seriously, what would he say? Imagine Bill had Vrabel in his office right now, and Bill was like the coach and Vrabel was the assistant coach. What would he be saying to him? He would be saying, hey, you messed up really bad. We need to get on top of this. We need to do something about this. No, like halfway, I'm taking responsibility, and then randomly leaves the draft. So this is like, it gets more bizarre every time. And I'm telling you, it's not a popular thing for me to talk about. Like, everyone's in pain listening to this because it's another story, complete story. But I'm telling you, it's a story because your head coach cannot stop messing up over this. Like, this is absolutely, this might be the worst. This might be the worst explosion. I've never seen someone say something like, this is laughable. And then you go to, like, it's World War III after World War III after. It's like, at first, I remember Patriots fans, they were like, oh, like, what, friends can't just hold hands or whatever in the parking lot of a resort. Then we found out the resort was like a romantic resort. And then it was like, we found out more pictures. And then it was like critical hit after critical hit after critical hit after critical hit. So
son
at
named
some point, to me,
Michael,
it's like,
the timing with the son all lined up. Like, one of these kids is his kid. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. One, if not both of these kids, are his kid.
Oh, geez, Joe, you're going there, huh?
I mean, all the timing makes. I mean, first of all, when they showed that, all they needed to do was show me with their interlocking hands, and I was like, "This is over." Like, that's an intimate fucking move. I don't care what anybody says. Tom Brady is hacking our podcast. He always does. Whenever Brycen's on, especially.
I'm sorry, guys. Did you hear my rant?
We heard the whole thing. No, everyone heard the whole thing.
Do you think that Vrabel should step down or that he should lose his job right now?
Well, Mike, if you remember what I said, what ought to be true, what is true, right? So, I wish that it were the case that Drake May wouldn't have, like, another coach, because that's, like, really terrible, right? No one wants to see this happen. I'm just saying that, give a percentage chance of, like, how awful this is and how much the information there is and how badly they handled the story. This is a nuclear bomb, okay? So I don't.
Is it worse than Spygate, though?
I'm not going to sit here and say, like, he should just go ahead and step down now. But imagine you're Robert Kraft, right? You, like, they are 100% thinking, like, how do we stop this story? There's just no way. There's no way after, and then you hear stories like the wife had cancer during this time. Like, it just keeps getting worse. Like, there might be a scenario. I'm not saying it's going to happen or it should happen, but I could 100% see a scenario where they just have him take a year off or whatever it is and just come back. And because no matter what they're doing now, it's clearly always going to get worse and completely, like, I'm telling you, I'm paying attention to this stuff, and I'm not ever seen a story go nuclear like this. And I remember even LB, he was like, this is kind of blown over. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's not. This is a slow drip of information. And, I have a little conspiracy on what I actually think is happening. I don't think I can actually say that, but something is going on. And I feel like like part of me thinks it's almost inevitable that he's like not going to coach, but another part of me thinks like that's just absolutely crazy. But these hits are just super effective. Like how can you guys deny these hits are not super effective? It's like every time you have Matt Walsh commenting on this. You have like I've seen Fox News anchors comment on this. I'm seeing like global news commenting on this stuff like weekly. And not only that, but it's like the reputational damage is just like I've never seen anything like this, guys. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it should be true, but I'm just saying that this is, and Patriots fans made this worse, by the way. This could have been much better dealt with, especially online, if Patriots fans were like, at first were like, hey, this is really bad, but obviously I want him to coach. It was like, oh no, you're crazy. Oh no, you're crazy. They'll never catch. Oh, they'll never do this, right? I always say like, there's things that I say that always come true. It's like I said at the beginning, this is really bad, and the only way to get rid of this might be for someone to walk away. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but oh no, that's not gonna happen. That would never happen. No, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. You can know no one cares. How can you say no one cares? The New York Post is covering this every day. Imagine that's you. That's 9/11 daily, man. I'm just saying it's really bad.
I'm with you, man.
Everybody wants to bring down, everybody's a hater, so they try to bring down anybody that's doing anything untoward. My whole position on it is if Bill Belichick didn't get fired for Spygate, which was a very direct football type of situation, then why should Vrabel get fired for something that's an off the field thing? Like, wouldn't Belichick, isn't that a fireable offense? It directly affects your team, and it's a football issue. And Vrabel's deal is it's off the field. So why exactly? What is it affecting? It affected the third day of the draft. Now, if it continues to affect different facets of the organization that he can't be there because he's doing something else, that's a totally different story. But I just don't understand. Like, if Belichick didn't get fired for Spygate, I don't think Vrabel would get fired for this Rossini gate.
I don't think it's a matter of him getting fired, but I do think it's a matter of, like Brycen saying, him not being able to concentrate on football and flat out,
that would be a problem. That would be a big problem.
Did his wife have cancer during that time? I know that's the first time I've heard that. But yeah, it does beg the question, does this become too big of a distraction during the season? If we're still talking about this come week 1 of the NFL season, holy shit. Like,
it'll still be talked about. It won't die. It will not die. And the Patriots did an absolutely terrible version of PR management throughout this whole entire thing. They were the ones that were transparent about all the wrong type of things instead of shutting the hell up and letting the situation play out. So now everything else that comes out more and more, it makes them look like bigger and bigger idiots, especially with all the upfront denial. So the biggest thing that should have dropped for me right here is if Rossini has a tell-all and she like goes off and just slanders this guy, which I don't think she will. But if she goes like on a fucking complete rampage, that might affect Vrabel. So I think the ball is in Diana Rossini's court right now about what she wants to say, because now that TMZ picked the story up, it's not going away. They're going to get more and more dirt and go deeper and deeper. And yes, it will still be talked about in week 1. There's nothing we can do about that.
He can't be fired, though. Like, I know people are like, Patriots fans will say like, oh, everyone wants him fired. He can't get fired. Financially, he can't get fired, okay? Kraft is still whining over paying Gerard Mayo. He's not firing Mike Vrabel for any reason, okay?
Good.
He's not doing it. So that's out of the question. The only way that Vrabel, that he would ever leave would be is he's just steps away. And I'm telling you, like, in my soul, like, I just keep thinking, if this was me, man, I can't imagine walking out on national television. I just think that this is 9/11, and every week it somehow gets worse. I mean, if you just remove the morality, just think about the way that people are talking about it, and it's like, I can't even fathom how bad this is, and I just can't see it getting better. Like, and then it's going to be, what it's going to delve into is inevitably he's going to be at practice smiling and there's going to be pictures of this and whatnot. And then people will get mad over that. I can't see a scenario where people just like aren't hungry for the story. This was the most boring draft of all time. Okay. This is one of the worst drafts of all time. This is one of the worst off seasons of all time. The only thing that coming up in the NFL is like AJ Brown being traded to the Patriots. And some people think that may not happen if Vrabel steps away, which obviously I'm putting that at if Vrabel stepping away a very low percentage. I'm just saying that when people said there's no chance, I think that's not true at all. I think there's like there's a percentage, maybe it's less than 20, but there's a percentage that he could do that. And I would completely understand him doing that. Okay.
There's no chance.
Literally, this
you
9/11.
There's no chance of him getting fired, but there is a chance of him voluntarily stepping away. Isn't that what he said?
Is absolutely what he said. Yeah.
There's no chance of getting fired for financial reasons, which I'm not sure if that's true, but he can't get fired. But is there, now that Brycen's back, is there a chance that he steps away voluntarily? Is that what you're leaning toward?
Yeah, I think that would be the only way, right? The only way would be is he steps away. And, at the beginning when I was kind of workshopping this stuff and I was thinking, people will like play down the tampering aspect. And I'm telling you, all these NFL fans are really mad about this. And they think that it gives the appearance of.
But why are they so mad? What are they so mad about? That's what I want to know. What is so egregious about people cheating on their wives and whatnot? That's like somebody's own personal life. Why are football fans so irate about it?
Well, I think it's much more complicated than that, right? Like many people cheat on people. It's not great. And I'm just saying the reason why, and by the way, I'm not saying like this should be true. The reason why it's such a big deal is because she's a reporter. And first of all, it starts off with Eagles fans because they feel robbed. They're still mad about the.
So now you think there's insider information that might have been passed between Rossini and Vrabel about the status of AJ Brown? Is that what you're getting at with that?
Yes, a lot of people think that they've looked back to even the Julio Jones trade with the Titans, and Rossini was kind of playing down the compensation for the other teams, like not Mike Vrabel's team, in a way that she's kind of doing with AJ Brown. And you can see like that completely ruins her credibility, right? And so now you're involved with this. That's really like, it gives the appearance of not good, right? It's just like we all know, everyone can say like we all know this stuff happens. I understand this stuff happens, but it gives the appearance of all of that stuff. And this is why it makes fans so mad. They do dislike Patriots fans, and they do not like that we are probably going to get AJ Brown, right? I say the Patriots are probably going to get AJ Brown. And so that's what has started this. And then Vrabel denies all this stuff and it like makes it into like this big meme. And now people are looking back in the Tennessee days and they're looking back at what Rossini was saying back then. And so her credibility as a reporter is completely shot because of all this. So that's what makes it a really big deal in NFL land. Not only that, but people behind the scenes know there's a lot more to come that could potentially come. And then on top of that, there's like, how can we just sit here and like as guys and say like there's nothing more to this? Like imagine that's your wife on a boat with someone and she's pregnant and maybe there's a question whether or not that's your kid. Like this is just like, it's just like really awful stuff.
Nuclear. Right? It's absolutely
like said,
nuclear.
Remember the CEO. He's just giving a hug around the waist on a kiss cam. He got let go from a $1 billion company, right? So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Yes, it doesn't have much to do with football, right? But think about Gerard Mayo, right? Gerard Mayo got fired because of not football things, right? He was saying silly stuff, and the team wasn't that good, but the roster wasn't good. Let's be honest.
He was also a terrible football coach. Let's not get that all twisted up. He was not ready. I'm
not saying he wasn't, but think about all of the stuff that he did that often, like not football related, that was stupid. You would probably give him another chance, right? If given the year, if he wouldn't have been so dumb, but didn't happen. So sometimes these non-football things do bleed in, and I just think how could you guys even stop this story? Like, do you just ignore it the whole time? Like while he's getting dunked on? Maybe that's what you do. I don't even know what you would do. I'm just saying that I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm just saying I can see a world where like this does. He just walks away. They're like, hey, Mike, this is clearly not working at all. We can't get rid of this. I'm having family problems. This is not working out. Eagles fans are all upset. There's, imagine there's like a 5% chance at the NFL. Like, think about it. The Athletics investigation with Rossini is not complete. They've said that. Imagine there's text and then they're like actually damning, and people are like, oh shit, like she was trying to harm AJ Brown's trade value. And then you're like, oh man, this is like, even imagine that scenario, right? Because they're bound to have the text. So I'm just saying I could see the scenario where all of this happens. And that's really why people are so mad. And I understand why Patriots.
I think you're right.
We want this to go away, but
I think you're right, Brycen, if you can hear me. I think what it comes down to is this will get worse before it gets better. This is not the end of it. It's going to get worse. There's enough money. There's enough reason from the husband. There's Amy Adams Strunk. There's plenty of people in this situation that hate both of these people for various reasons, whether it be the Eagles. So there's plenty of and then there's just the media, the money, the salaciousness of the whole story. I mean, it's especially during the slow season, this is not going to let up. It's going to get worse. I wanted to go back to a statement you made, and because I partially agree with it, but I partially don't. The free agency and the draft. So I agree the draft, especially in the Vrabel list rounds, was absolutely brutal. I was yelling at the screen. I was like, why are we taking these guys? But just thinking about us getting AJ Brown and what we did in the offseason entirely, I feel like we're probably, I would say, Mike, you and I have graded this at around a B. So
what, the draft in general?
Well, yeah, I'm anxious to hear Brycen's. So, Brycen, if you can hear me now, AJ Brown, right? Assume we have AJ Brown plus our offseason. You still, what would you grade that as, and why?
I mean, I like what the Patriots have done. Last year, you guys remember I wrote that article about how this was the best Patriots offense in years, and I was right about that. And so I think I'm probably going to write something similar this offseason. Granted, they get AJ Brown, and I'm actually like, I'm always, you guys know me, I'm the guy that I hate when things are overrated. I'm going to tell you when they're overrated, and typically I'm not wrong about that. But right now, as a Patriots wide receiver room I'm not really like the biggest fan of that. I think it's like kind of the same. I think their offensive line has probably gotten a lot better, which is really awesome, right? But I just think that they really do need AJ Brown to kind of put them over the top. Same thing as last year. I wrote about trading for AJ Brown last year, right? It's like, if the Patriots can trade for AJ Brown, then I think clear cut, they're back to being one of the best teams in the NFL. And maybe you have Lomu and he works out and that's awesome and he starts, and Morgan Moses retires. I don't know, he might retire or something like that. He's pretty old, but maybe he plays and he's really awesome, and their offensive line is much better, and you have upgrades at guard, right? It's their offensive line, if it's better, that's obviously much better, right? But I still think like it's just Dubes, no digs, like kind of a wash to me, really. But I like their offseason. I just think that to cap it off, they need that AJ Brown. And we just talk about all the negative stuff. We could see a positive spin here, okay? There is a scenario where like this stuff does go away. All this bad stuff goes away. They trade for AJ Brown, and AJ Brown loves Mike Vrabel, right? If he stays around, and everyone is vying and coming together for the coach. And the Patriots have one of those like FU seasons, and they do not have a Super Bowl hangover. How awesome would that be, right? You can see where a team would have a Super Bowl hangover. That's completely reasonable, especially if you don't have Tom Brady. But imagine all of these things come together and you make something really great out of a bad situation. You could see that too, right? They trade for AJ Brown and they just go on a complete roll. I could see that too. So if you're a Patriots fan, you have to really hope for that and wish for the best. I think I'm a fan of the offseason. So
good. Yeah. I think honestly, take out the Vrabel drama, right? You take out the selfish Vrabel move of we're at a Super Bowl. If you just cut off the side piece, granted it's going to come out no matter what, but he obviously continued that. But if you take that whole thing away, you got really a team that's continuing to be on the ascension and continuing to show that we want to compete now. So to me, I'm with you, Brycen. If we can continue this ascension and if we can get by this horrific event, which, you know, it's going to take some time and it's going to probably get worse before it gets better. But if we can get by it, I mean, we're going to run the football. We've been saying this every podcast. We're going to run the football, and I think we're going to run it really well. So, all right. So, Mike, I wanted to talk about the AFC here. So I'm going to bring up my screen. I'm going to share. Let's see here.
Oh, Bryson's on the move. There he
Bryson's
goes.
on the move. He's doing things. It's moving. It's like the Blair Witch Project. I like it. All right, so I'm going to bring this up here because what I really want to do here is I want to talk through.
I can hear you. Cool.
Oh, awesome. So I want to talk through. I'm just bringing this up because I think it's important context here. I want to talk about the AFC and kind of what everyone else has been doing. To me, the Broncos have really had a stellar offseason, right? They kind of did what we wanted to do, right? They got a true number one in Jalen Waddle. You team him up with Sutton. You team him up with, Justin Jolie in the draft. A lot of great situations here where,
they're so confident in their team. They didn't sign any free agents at all.
They didn't sign any free agents, but they brought in some guys who can play right now. I mean, to me, the Broncos did get better. Jalen Waddle with Bo Nix. Bo Nix obviously coming back from injury. But, when it comes to the Broncos, I feel like they got better. So not great for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So if we go, let's look at the
Broncos
Chargers.
The Chargers had a decent draft too.
So the Chargers, I mean, they get Messidor right at edge. They were clearly hurting there. Joey Bosa wasn't doing. No, Joey Bosa went to the was at the Bills. But you beef up your offensive line. You got Mike McDaniels coming in, which that offense sorely needed some more talent in that space. And then you're going to get your tackles back. You get both your starting left and right tackles back. They drafted a guard in the second round, Jake Slaughter.
Will Campbell.
Yeah. And so this team, the Chargers, another great AFC team that just got better.
Yeah, there's a number of teams that got better.
There's some good teams in the AFC West, man. Those have always been the stack rosters, and I really do fear Mike McDaniel, but those are good teams.
And then you look at Buffalo, right? We talked about this last week. Buffalo gets an edge that they needed. They haven't had edge pressure. They get probably second or third best corner in the draft, and Davison Igbenogson.
Yeah.
And so then they go ahead and get DJ Moore, which, is he what he was years ago, and is he worth a second round pick? And I think it was a second and a fifth. I don't know, but they bolster their linebacker core with Caleb Elarms, who I wanted. That was a great pick, a great off the ball linebacker. So their defense.
We ended up drafting the other guy, right? TCU.
Yes, the other TCU guy, the older guy that was more of a
Nnamdi Adebayo, or whatever his name is.
So it's like, I mean, all these teams, Baltimore, they got Ione. They ended up losing Lindenbaum, but they grabbed the best guard in the draft in Ione. They got Zion Young as an edge. They got two amazing receivers, Jacoby Lane and Elijah Surratt. They got Adam Randall, which Mike, you and I love for the Patriots.
I love that guy. He's a perfect receiver,
big guy. He's a great understudy for Derrick Henry. So they're on the up and up to me. I mean, the competition is pretty thick in the AFC.
The Dolphins did good, even though they're going to be rebuilding. They still had a good draft, though.
They drafted 100 people. They drafted a whole starting team that they're going to need to start every single one of them. But I mean, they really walked away with some real studs. Like you got Caden Proctor at O tackle. You got Chris Johnson. I'd say he's probably the number 2 or 3, give or take between him and the guy from Ohio State. Jacob Rodriguez, middle of the second round, great pick there. Caleb Douglas, I wasn't in love with this pick, but then they got Chris Bell super late in round 3. Yeah. Trey Moore, I love Trey Moore as a linebacker. We didn't draft like a single higher linebacker, which really pissed me off. Nope. And then they got Kyle Lewis. It's like they basically got a whole starting linebacker core here,
and that goes up your ass sideways, right?
Straight
there.
Up my ass. Because that pick at 138, I mean, that was such a good pick for Kyle Lewis.
That would have been a good value right there.
I mean, every one of these guys is like a lot of these guys are starting. This guy Kelvin Coleman is a slot, absolute phenom slot guy. So I mean, yeah, it's the Dolphins, right? They lost Jalen Waddle. Your only piece that you kept was Achane. So I mean, you're not talking about competing this year, but did they make a lot of good picks? Absolutely,
they did.
Jalen Waddle's so good. He's so good, man. I wish.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem in Denver this year.
I would have given up 31 and a third for him for sure, or a fourth.
Oh my gosh.
100%. He's younger. He's, again, like everyone talks about AJ Brown, which I love AJ Brown, but give me the younger guy. I'll take I don't care if he's 17 months younger. He's younger.
So good.
So Joe, is AJ Brown worth the first round pick in 2027 or 2028 even?
I think you have to kick it down to 2028. I think the 2027 draft, and everyone's saying this, and I agree, this 2027 draft is very deep. So even if we're picking, if we don't have AJ Brown, we're probably picking in the 20s, right? We're probably picking in the low 20s is my guess. And depending on where that goes, if we don't have him, do we go get a veteran, maybe a receiver or something? Probably not, because do you get Diggs? Do you reunite with Diggs and have Diggs and Dobbs and some of these guys?
That could work. That would be fine too, by the way.
Yeah, that would be fine. Yeah,
sick. I wouldn't rule it out. I think honestly, there's a shot of that happening. But the NFL has to vet the Diggs situation. They could still fine or suspend Diggs, even though he came off as not guilty and all the charges were dropped. The NFL has a different level of standard when it comes to guilty or innocent. Their burden of proof is much, much lower. So if they thought he violated any kind of conduct issue, they would suspend him regardless of the fact that he just got acquitted of all charges, which is messed up. But who would say no to AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs on this roster this year? Who would say no to it? Wouldn't that be a good thing?
I'm not against it. I think the room there's a lot of competition in this room, and I think Matt Collins does play a big piece. I wouldn't mind moving on from everyone. Like loves Kayshon Boutte. I do think he's a solid player. Like Kayshon Boutte is solid, but like, yeah, I mean, I actually.
Joe, did you just say Kayshon Boutte is not elite?
You said he's solid.
I said he's solid. Yeah.
You just said he wasn't elite.
Yeah, I did say he wasn't elite.
Get this guy. Get this guy,
dude. I'm telling you, people will come with you with pitchforks if you say Kayshon Boutte is tradable for a 4th round pick. It's like, what, is that crazy to me? Or, oh my lord! But no,
playmaker. I'll tell you that much. He makes plays that other people can't make. So
he does.
It just depends on if they want the veteran talent in there. But I don't have a problem with Boutte at all, to be quite honest. But if they do all those things that I just said, he's obviously going to be the odd man out. It's just obvious.
I would love nothing more than for Elliot Wolf to basically tell Howie to go fuck himself and go pay for Diggs. Go pay Diggs $18 million a year. I don't care. Just give him a 1-year deal and just say, okay, next year we'll punt to next year. We'll get another guy next year.
No AJ Brown at all.
Yeah, and just go with Diggs if he's gonna be stingy and go like I've heard a 2028 first and a 2024 second and bullshit like that. It's like, no,
that's
get
silly.
Out of here.
That's absolute nonsense. You got to look at it like this, dude. A first round pick. What other receivers could we get with a first round pick? I guarantee that we could get somebody younger and healthier if we just said, "Hey, we have a first round pick, guys. What receiver do you want to give us?" And open that up to the league. You're going to get somebody younger and less injury prone. I'm talking about like the kid from Jacksonville and guys
Brian
along those
Thomas. Yeah.
guys along that nature. Couldn't you get, if you were going to give up a first round pick, couldn't you get a better receiver than AJ Brown? That's my question.
Yeah, I think we all underrate the Drake May to AJ Brown thing. Like, just like Dubes, all these guys, Kashawn Booty. Think about it. Kashawn Booty gets the Drake May boost. And everyone's like, oh, Kashawn Booty is the best player of all time. Look at some of those throws where Kashawn Booty's, and he's catching the ball, and it's awesome. But now imagine you have AJ Brown, and every single time you give Josh McDaniels someone that can go deep down the field, someone that you really need to target. Think Brandon Cooks, all those years ago. It works every time, and you're going to see like you might pay a first for AJ Brown, but he's going to be, I think he'll be much more valuable just because he's also going to get the Drake May boost, right? You see Kashawn Booty's elite with Drake May. He's not elite, but everyone says that. Now imagine he's AJ Brown. Now that would be
For
insane,
sure.
right?
Absolutely. No, I'm with you on that. And I do think he is worth a 2028 first. So a 2028 first, and I would like to see something come back.
Joe.
I want to see. I don't want Howie to completely rake us over the coals. That's what I don't want. Because
I think, Joe, I think there's something that we as Patriots fans, you and I talk about this actually, and I think it does matter. Imagine, like, the last thing you want is a Super Bowl hangover, right? Imagine the locker room when you walk AJ Brown into the door and you say, we've spent money and picks for this, and everyone gets that boost. It's the same thing when they got Brandon Cooks and they went back to the Super Bowl, right? There's something there with guys in the NFL when you prove, hey, we are actually all in. Everyone refocus. Everyone says the same shit every year. We're all going to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. We're going back. But you inject a trade like that. I think anytime you do that, you get a belief boost, and there is something to be said about that kind of stuff. Like, we can't underrate that either, right?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. Honestly, if we threw a 2028 first and we had to do a pick swap in 2027, I'm okay with it. If we have to say, look, we'll give you a 2028 first, and then we give you a 2024 fifth, and you give us a third or something, or a fourth even, I'm okay with it.
And nobody's worried about the potentially degenerative knee condition that AJ Brown has. Nobody's worried about that.
I don't think so. Not more so than anybody else. I think we got if we got him for 2 years. That's it. You're buying a rental for 2 years, and that third year, who the fuck knows at that point.
Sounds about right.
However, AJ Brown is walking when he's 80 does not concern me. Okay.
As long as it doesn't hurt him in the next year or so. That's all I really care about.
So Brycen, while you can hear me, what's Lomu? What is he? Tell me what he is.
Lomu?
Okay, yeah. Lomu.
Well, I've consulted with the committee of knowing draft picks because you guys know I'm not the draft guy. I pick and choose, right? I know the guys to go to talk about.
But why did they pick a left tackle? Why did they pick a left tackle?
Oh, come on. Here we go.
Well, actually, really, I'm not going to say that they just picked a left tackle because they're going to move Campbell, to be honest. I actually do believe the Patriots when they say they couldn't believe he was there, right? You would expect me to say, like, this is Will Campbell's out of there. My gut just doesn't tell me that. My gut tells me that they really do believe in Will Campbell. And, the thing about the Patriots is they always draft traits, but it's funny because Lomu and Campbell are not like the traits kings, but Lomu's a little bit bigger. He's got a little bit bigger wingspan. He's a little bit taller, but the people that I talk to tell me that they rate him as a better prospect than Campbell, which is funny because last year you could probably just drafted Tet and then you wouldn't end up with Lomu and it would have been fine. But I think that truly they probably just saw that he probably was a top 15 pick for them, I'm going to guess. So when that falls into your lap, it is really hard to just not do that. So I really, maybe I'll be wrong about this. I just think that they're going to keep Will at left tackle, and then they want Lomu to eventually just play right tackle, or however it is. It's funny because he's never played right tackle, but everyone's fine with him playing right tackle, but no one's fine with Will Campbell playing guard, whatever. But right now they have Vera Tucker, or they're in the inside, and so it's like I believe in the Patriots offensive line right now, and I think that at some point you should just stick Lomu in there and see what happens. But you still have Morgan Moses, obviously, but I think he's just going to play right tackle, and it'll be all good. But the people I talk to say he's a good player. Now, I will say that I do really trust LB, like I said, and he's a big frame. He likes to look at people's frame, like he looks at Will Campbell's frame and is like, that's not good. And you just look. He does have the same sort of structural issues that Will Campbell does. He's just a bit longer. He still lacks in power, but you really don't need that for a tackle, right? It's not really that necessary. They just got to have that dog in them. I just think that Campbell is a unique scenario because he's so low percentages in the traits, but hopefully this works out. The people I trust tell me that it will, and he's really good. So maybe you'll just immediately see he steps right into right tackle, and that's awesome. Or Mike Reese said he's going to be a swing tackle, right? So that might be closer to the truth.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, especially this first year, he's going to be the backup swing guy, the third tight end, the move tight end. They're going to teach him how to do that. Remember, Joe, like when Nate Solder was a rookie and they redshirted him and he did the third tight end type of situation. That's what Lomu's role is going to be this year. But for next year, there's going to be a lot of very interesting questions. Lomu has played. He's been integrated into the right tackle throughout the draft process. And I know they try to cross-train some of their guys at Utah, but Spencer Fennell was on the other side, and that guy's an absolute beast. So they could only switch so many times. They can't. So Lomu is a true left tackle, and his type of frame, he's like a little over 6'6", 313, and Will Campbell's 6'6" and like 325. So Will Campbell, believe it or not, has more of a stockier frame of a right tackle. If that ever came to fruition, if they wanted to figure out which side Lomu was going to play on, normally you like your right tackle to be more of a little bit of a road grader, and that's where Campbell comes in because he's got like 15, 20 pounds on Lomu. I think Lomu's a natural left tackle, but I'm not making any aspersions on any of it at all. I think Lomu would also be a great right tackle, and you could keep Will at left. What I am saying is I wouldn't rule out any kind of change after Morgan Moses retires. I wouldn't rule out them cross-training both of those guys for both jobs. I also wouldn't rule out since and on Onwenu, it's his last year. He has no guaranteed money. I'm pretty sure he's not coming back. So I wouldn't rule out a Will Campbell kick to left guard, and then they kick Elijah Vera Tucker to right guard and keep Lomu at left tackle. I wouldn't rule any of that.
Someone get this guy. Okay. Do you hear the things that he's saying? Get this guy. Okay.
So I think the kid can be versatile enough to do all those things, but I think it's still up in the air about how that's all going to fall. They're very adamant about Will Campbell at left tackle, and I've always said that I want Will Campbell at left tackle, but I also think he would make a good right tackle too. I think he's more gritty, and Lomu's quicker on his feet, which is more conducive to the left tackle position. That's
he's a little bit longer too, right? I think the biggest thing with Campbell is the length. You can really see it. Sometimes he does have trouble dropping back and just getting hands on people, right?
For sure, 100%.
I've always been of the belief, and I hear people who are way smarter than they say that today it's easier than ever to switch, because if you stink, now I'm not saying it's not hard, but it's much easier to do today, because if you stink at right tackle, they're going to put Myles Garrett over top of you. If you stink at left tackle, they're going to put Myles Garrett over top of you. So like those defenders always switch. So it's all, I think it's a much easier transition, but maybe they do decide. I think that's a good idea, is just to put Will on the other side, like you said. But hey, what do I know?
I wouldn't rule it out. That's all I'm saying. I just wouldn't rule it out. I like Lomu. He's agile. He's quick on his feet. He's more agile, and that's conducive to the left tackle position. And Will Campbell's a little bit more of a road grader. I just think he would be a little bit more of a natural fit, but we have no idea how that's going to play out.
Well, and I think the main point here is we have options. We have bodies.
It's a good
right?
problem to have.
We didn't have this last year, right? And so we have a great fullback. We have a great blocking tight end. We just drafted a blocking tight end who also can catch. But, I think the main story here is we're going to run the football and we have depth at the line position. So, like, to me, let us cook when it comes to running. And hopefully that opens up Drake May in the play action. Maybe even opens up Drake May in the run game, and because I really want to see them rush him out on some plays and really make them challenge every blade of grass. I was saying that during the Super Bowl, like, they have this great pass rush and they're not even rushing a lot of people. Why aren't we making them defend the corners more? Why aren't we scrambling him out and having him get guys in space like Kyle Williams and some of these guys? Why are we playing this pocket? Why are we playing this Tom Brady game? This isn't Tom Brady. It was a
bad game plan.
This is fucking Josh Allen. Let's play the fucking Josh Allen game. Let's stop playing the Tom Brady game. He's not Tom Brady. This dude can run and get in space. So, like, to me, I hope that we can really get a run game established so that it opens up these other play action plays to the flats, play action to the fullbacks, right? All this great stuff that we're used to seeing. The screen game was like non-existent in the playoffs. What the fuck happened to the screen game? We just stopped running screens. No middle screens, no screen to the outside. Like, you got Trevion Henderson, throw the guy the fucking flat pass and throw a goddamn fullback or throw a lineman in front of him, a guard, and let these guys cook. I mean, so I think when it comes down to it, I think this team is, having depth in the trenches is what we've needed, and it sucks that we didn't get a linebacker, right? We have no linebacking depth, we have no safety depth, which both of those things suck. But we got a premier edge rusher. I mean, to me, Akis is a premier edge rusher. And you got Draymond Jones, who's an upgrade at that position as well. You got Landry coming back, who we'll see. He started off the year well, but kind of ended kind of shitty. But I think this team is well improved. If we can lock in A.J. Brown and get this Rossini Vrabelgate bullshit behind us, which I'm sure he's thinking the same thing. But yeah, guys, I think we're on to another 10 or 11 win season. I think to me, that's where we'll see how the schedule shakes out. We're going to get that next week. So
we'll have to look at the schedule, but that sounds about on mark,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think, Brycen? Closing thoughts?
Well, it is an exciting time. I do hate that all of the stuff, our attention has been forced on non-football stuff, but it's really been a boring offseason, and this is a massive story. But all of that being said, I did see Drake May golfing, and he looks like he's gained 5 to 10 pounds, and I really do like that, because the last 2 years, I've been watching Drake May for a long time now, and he's always he loves playing basketball, right? He's a basketball player, and
he's also a great golfer too. He's a great golfer and basketball player.
Right. He loves playing sports, but you can see when you look at him, like, he just wants to be a basketball player, right? He loves playing basketball, and I just wish that he would forego the skinny frame. And he's not a small guy. He's got a big frame. He's got a Brady frame, and just add 5 to 10 more pounds, because that is really necessary, I think. And you saw it in the playoffs. He had a hurt shoulder, and he got hit a lot, and he's always going to get hit a lot, just like Josh Allen. But Josh Allen has that extra 10 to 15 pounds of frame on him, similar to what Big Ben does. And I just don't think that Drake can just last in this league by being the weight he is right now. It's not good enough to be Tom Brady's weight. He needs like 5 to 10 pounds more. So Drake, if you can hear us, Drake, I know you're listening. I've told him myself, listen, hey, Miss May, more cookies on the table. Cookies, milk, whole milk, protein shakes. Seriously, and you guys will probably say the same thing. He does need to gain a couple pounds, but I saw it in his golf game. I think he has gained a couple pounds, which is really awesome, I think, because the playoffs, like I just said, I think it completely exposed his frame. He got hurt. He was banged up. Let's get the weight on. Let's make another run. Let's get A.J. Brown. Let's, Vrabel go out. Vrabel needs to go out there in the middle of Gillette Stadium with no one out there, with like some sort of awesome intro music and maybe Mike introducing him and just saying like, I'm not leaving. I don't care what anyone says. And just at this point, lean into it. And then everyone just moves
Wolf
on
of Wall
because
Street
no one
esque.
cares anymore.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah, just do something
I'm
like
not
it's going to take
leaving.
something crazy like that. It's going to take something wild like that. Just do it so the Patriots can just build off of that because, like you guys said, I like this team. I like what's going on. So let's just build on that, okay?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
love
he
it.
does. He could put a couple clowns on. Drake's slight in the bicep. He needs to do some bench presses. He needs to get
He's
in there.
He's a basketballer, man. We got to work that out of him. He's not Jason. You're not Jason Tatum, bro.
Well, at least he's got limber limbs and muscles and whatnot, so good for him. But yeah, he does need to bulk up a little bit. But on balance, on whole, it really sucks. For my takeaway, Joe, it really sucks that we have to continue to go through this over and over and over again. Every time there's a new picture that comes out or a new report comes out, we have to do that, and it takes away from our actual analysis of what we think about the football team. And what we think about the football team right now, as far as I'm concerned, is a little bit ambiguous. Did they get better in certain areas, but they let go a bunch of dudes that I don't know that they really necessarily needed to do that. Like, for example, you get rid of all your linebacker core, your Jack Gibbons, your Jelani Tavais, those individuals, your Anthony Jennings, the guys that were providing depth. And now we replace those with KJ Britt and this Nnamdi Ezembeor 6th round draft pick. So, like, I'm a little confused about that. You get rid of Jalen Hawkins at safety, and now you have Kevin Byard, but you don't have a backup for that. The edge is super thin, linebacker super thin. So I'm still a little bit nervous. I still think they have more moves to make. But right now, while it's a slow season, I can't really, digest all that and evaluate what they're doing. They just started rookie camp today, so we don't really know what they're doing on the field. But I'm cautiously optimistic, and the next benchmark is going to be when the schedule comes out, and then we'll do our schedule predictions, and that'll be a fun time for us. But until that happens, we're kind of like stuck in limbo here for the duration right now. We're at the mercy of the Vrabel story. It's the main story going on.
Hey, Joe can testify. I told him weeks ago that this was going to be a massive deal, and it was not stopping anytime soon. I've lost friends over this. Complete Brycen vindication, by the way. Some are saying complete Brycen vindication. And I'm not saying I want this to be true. I'm just saying that it sucks, but I was right once again.
So you get bragging rights. You get bragging rights on this show. We'll give it to you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I care about. I just wanted to go on the show and have you guys say something nice about me. No one's done this all week or all month for that matter. And I missed you guys last week, like I said, when I was sick. So I really appreciate you.
Well, we're glad you're better, Brycen. We're definitely glad you're back. And you know what? It is what it is, guys. This like you were saying before, Brycen. This is somebody's. Just imagine this was your wife. You were the wife. Like I can't even. Like I can't. How do you go to work? How do you focus? How do you not and these players are going to get barraged with questions all training camp, all camp. They're going to be it's all they're going to be talking about.
Yeah,
it's going to suck. But hey, the good thing is the players are all saying they back Mike Vrabel. He went to the press conference, the season ticket holders, the conference or whatever it was event, and everyone gave him a standing ovation. You know, I don't think he's going anywhere, but let's see in 3 weeks when this is a daily barrage of new stuff that comes out. Does a DNA test come out? Like, good Lord, like this could get really, really ugly.
Oh, Jesus.
They just have to lean in at this point. They got to make T-shirts. They got to do something. At this point, there's no amount of "I'm sorry" is going to fix the initial blunder. At this point, you just have to lean in and just say, "I don't care anymore. If you don't move on, we don't care. We'll be here playing football." Okay, there's no ambiguity here. Just make the Vrabel T-shirts. Everyone wears his jersey. You know, Mike has the intro at the stadium. He says, "Screw everyone," and everyone moves on. You know, that's what it's going to really take, to be honest.
I was saying the Mike Vrabel heel arc is here. It's finally here.
You have to do that.
It's like WWE.
You have to do something like that at some point, man. I mean, this is like, I've never seen anything like this, and that was the whole reason why I was like, I just don't understand. And the things that a lot of us have heard behind the scenes are like, you just wait for shoes to drop every single day, and it's just like, dude. But I hope it stops, really, guys. I mean, but like I said, something has to be done. There has to be a leaning into. It's not good enough to make statements. It's not good enough to just ignore it.
Hey, maybe we'll get married.
Hey, but you have to do something like that, right? You have to do.
You know what? If you fully lean into it and they end up together, and maybe
then there's nothing left to say.
And then Taylor Swift writes a song about it.
Oh my God.
Then they validated the whole thing, so screw it.
Cardi B makes
go get married.
Cardi B and Stephon Diggs get back together, have another baby.
Yeah,
let's go.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's go.
I like it.
Just as long as we can keep it focused on ball, man. Get married. If that's what's going to move this along, please, by all means.
Let's
help
go,
me
bro.
out.
Do it for the kids. Do it
all
for
in.
Mike.
Are you all in or not? Chips in, all in.
Hell yeah. Absolutely, man.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on, Brycen. One day we're not going to have audio. You got the video. The video looks beautiful, man. Your video almost looks better than mine. The video is amazing. The audio, we're going to get there. Don't worry.
I apologize to the viewers. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I want to say it's not me, but I think it might be. But it's like I've tried everything. I'm not sure what else I can do. I think it might just be a StreamYard issue because I've never had podcast issues, to be honest. But maybe we'll figure something out in the future. Until then, I'm probably uninvited. This is my last show.
No way.
About that, everyone. You'll just
we'll always have you on,
to watch me tweet. You'll just have to watch me work on the timeline. You know,
it's all good, dude. You were here for most of it, so that's what counts. So you're coming back on. just so you know that you're definitely coming back on.
Let's go, baby.
All right, boys. Well, as always, it's been a great show. Brycen, thank you for coming on. And as always, let's fucking go.